Thousands of people, including senior citizens and women, marched towards Delhi to protest against the new farm laws.
However, on the way, they were stopped with massive concrete barricades, containers, sand pits, broken roads, tear gas shells, and water cannons in 10 degrees temperature.
Ironically enough, all this being done on India's Constitution Day, which actually allows a peaceful protest. The new farm laws are a massive push towards privatization of the farming sector, which as per farmers will only benefit the big corporate players and eventually will exploit the farmers in the long run. And why such heavy measures taken by the government to stop the protesters? Well, apparently due to COVID.
नहीं अभी क्या ये क्या झगड़ा नहीं है, ये झगड़ा क्या नहीं है, आपको नहीं पता इस समय क्या चल रहा है, क्या चल रहा है, कोविड चल रहा है, कोविड हमारा गले में फांसी का फंदा डाल दिया गवर्नमेंट ने.
But where were all these COVID guidelines during recent Bihar elections or Hyderabad rallies led by the Home Minister of India, where lakhs of people were gathered to support their political parties without any COVID rules?
So a lot of people are saying that why the protests are only happening in Punjab, which is actually an opposition ruled state, thereby implying that the protests are politically motivated. Well, firstly, these protests are not new.
Since June this year, farmers from across the country have been protesting locally. On 25th September, there was a Bharat Bandh observed.
After waiting for so long, when nothing else worked, farmers started the Dilli Chalo campaign, and thanks to the unjustified resistance from the government to stop the protesters, the issue has again gained the national limelight. Secondly, some section of the media is trying to categorize all the protesters as Punjabis because then it becomes easier for them to portray this entire movement as a Khalistani movement, which it is not. And they cannot do this with UP protesters or Rajasthan or Haryana protesters to discredit the entire movement. The reality is that the farmers who have benefited the most from the current system are also the ones who are protesting the most. And lastly, you might also think that only Punjab is protesting, and that is because Punjab is shining bright in these protests. Punjab has a history of leading the national movements.
जो इतिहास पढ़ा, काला पानी में सबसे ज़्यादा सिखों को भेजा गया, सबसे ज़्यादा अंग्रेज़ों ने सिखों को फांसी दी. और तीसरा है इमरजेंसी में सिख रोज़ सत्याग्रह करते थे. इनके पास जेल में जगह नहीं थी, उनको ट्रक में बैठा के 200 किलोमीटर दूर जाकर छोड़ते थे क्योंकि जेल में जगह नहीं थी. तो ऐसे बहादुर कौम हम इनकी प्रशंसा नहीं कर सकते, तो हम मूर्ख हैं.
Independence was a national issue. Emergency was a national issue. The new farm laws are a national issue. So Punjab will stand out and will continue its fight until all the farmers' demands are met.